guest star, Mr. Joel Gray.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet of the Night. It's time to put on makeup.
Today I would like to tell you and the world one of the very cool things about my father, one of many, and that is his association with the Muppets.
It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to get things started.
I like the old opening better.
It's time to get things started
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Muppetational. This is what we call a Muppet Show.
Green smoke.
In the late 70s, Jim Henson got a hold of my father's album. He had a record out, I'm talking vinyl. It was called Something Else. As in, he had finished 7 years doing a Broadway show, traveling the world, a homemade show that him and his brother created in South Africa, and people always asked him, when are you going to do something else? And so he did something else, and it's this album. That's my sister on the cover, and it had a bunch of incredibly eclectic, charming, whimsical songs. Pure Paul Tracey, his style, his creativity, his sense of humor, and his artistry in all of the songs. So one day in the late 70s, Jim Henson called him up and said, hey, I'm interested in using some of your songs. Which was a bit of a risk because the Muppets were known for using standard songs that everyone knew. They were going to sing it with puppets and put a character voice on it, but it was a song everyone had heard of. This was a departure from that because these were essentially original songs that no one had ever heard of. And so in the late 70s, the Muppets were all over the world. This was a TV show that was broadcast, came out of the BBC. They were about to have a movie come out. When Jim Henson met with my father, it was the year before the Muppet movie came out in '79.
For anyone who has ever dreamed of fame and fortune at the end of the rainbow, this is one of the greatest success stories of all time, proving once and for all that anyone can make it, no matter how young, no matter how green.
The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La-da-da.
All it took was a dream.
Hollywood. You sing, you tell jokes, you can make millions of people happy.
Millions of people happy.
And he went through this list of songs, and he used 4 of them and paid my father, and he still gets royalties to this day for these 4 songs being used. And it was Something's Missing, The Ugly Song, Dog Walk, and The Wishing Song, which is a very short song but beautiful and was written by my mother and father. And so I want to play for you just a few samples of my father's version, which has his very strong, resonant voice. And I want you to hear how he did it, and then I'll play you what the Muppets turned it into. The other day, me and my father spoke about this. I recorded quite a long interview with him to get all the stories and the ins and outs of his association with the Muppets and how good it made him feel, because this was the first time he had really received validation that as a songwriter, his songs were good and had quality. And it was seen through the eyes of Jim Henson and subsequently the audience of The Muppet Show, and then just people all over the world. But there was no guarantee that, because in his Broadway musical, Wait a Minute, he didn't write the songs, he sang them, but they were folk songs and they were a couple original songs, but he wasn't the writer. So it's always been fascinating to me because my father is this really incredibly talented guy, but learning about his life and from his perspective, he was the baby of the family. He had an older brother who was musically incredibly gifted and knowledgeable, went to Oxford. His father was a famous ethnomusicologist. He's living in the shadow of this guy. And so from his perspective, he thinks he's a fraud. And he has imposter syndrome, and he's thinking, Jesus, I'm a chicken farmer from South Africa, and pretty soon people are going to catch on to that and know that I'm just winging this. So essentially the man faked it until he made it. So the first song is a fun song it's called Something's Missing, and it's about a guy who's reflecting on the fact that before he met the love of his life, he felt like there was something missing in his life, and this is how he was expressing that thought.
I've got 2 wheels on my tricycle and 4 toes on each foot. I've got 6 days in my week, and up with this I will not put. I'm a bath without a plug, and I'm a handle with no jug. I'm a kiss without a hug unless you're near me. I've got 3 strings on my violin, and I'm an only twin. Something's missing, something's missing, something's
got 2 wheels on my tricycle and 4 toes on each foot. I've got 6 days in my week, and up with this I will not put. I'm a bath without a plug, and I'm a handle with no jug. I'm a kiss without a hug unless you're near me. I've got 3 strings on my violin, and I'm an only twin. Something's missing, something's missing, something's in. Well, my cat has only got 8 lives. He chases 2 blind mice. On my birthday, when I get 3 cheers, they only cheer me twice. I'm an oil well with no oil, and I'm a plant that has no soil. I'm a kettle that won't boil unless you're near me.
I'm a kettle that won't boil unless you're near me. 2 and 2 make 3 when I add. You're an orphan, says my dad. Something's missing, something's missing, something's ing.
2 and 2 make 3 when I add. You're an orphan, says my dad. Something's missing, something's missing, something's ing. But whenever you come close to me, my life is all complete. For no longer do I have 4 toes, no longer 2 left feet. I'm a playground full of swings, and I'm an eagle with his wings. I'm a nightingale that sings because you're near me. Now, my love, I beg you stay, 'cause when you stay, then I can say nothing's missing, nothing's missing,
Nothing's missing.
It's incredible, delightful. I don't know how he comes up with it. He has done this over and over again. It's just the norm. It's just the oxygen in the air. It's like, oh yeah, that's Dad. That's how he is. He comes up with stuff like this and has for years, his whole life. The next song Jim Henson was into was called The Ugly Song, which was a feast for them visually to create some ugly Muppets and to have this celebratory song about we're not even going to try to be beautiful, we're ugly, we are legion, and we're over it. And so it's a celebration of ugliness, and here's how it sounds.
I'm ugly as sin, but beautiful's out, ugly is in. If you're ugly like me, you're in good company. There are millions of us who are ugly.
Thank you, hi-ho! And here we go again with another edition of The Muppet Show. Tonight's a special one for us because our guest star is one of the truly great comedians, Milton Berle. So now for tonight's opening number, here he is, one of the beautiful people.
I'm ugly as sin, but beautiful's out, ugly's in. If you're ugly like me, you're in good company. There are millions of us who are ugly. Take the case of our friend the crocodile. His bite is much worse than his bark. In fact, his behavior is juvenile.
Infantile!
Why can't he just sing like a lark?
Although he's not the prettiest to be found, he's a useful and happy reptile. He'll gobble up anyone left lying around, and that gives him his permanent smile.
I'm ugly as sin, but beautiful's out, ugly's in. Yeah. If you're ugly like me, you're in good company. There are millions of us who are ugly. Take the case of our friend the warthog. He must be the ugliest by far. Check every page in the ugly catalog. Of all the ugly ones, he's the star.
His tail sticking up like a flagpole, his tusks and his warts and his bristles.
Whenever I decide to take a stroll, I'm never bothered by any wolf whistles. You're ugly as sin, but beautiful's out, ugly's in. Yes, sir. If you're ugly like me, you're in good company. There are millions of us who are ugly. Now, if you're bad looking, you're the lucky one. There's no effort involved in being ugly, no sir. But if you're beautiful by comparison, well, it's really a catastrophe.
Ointment and makeup and all that you smear on your body daily.
Yeah?
Then you wipe it all off and you put on some more. So be thankful that we are ugly.
We're ugly as sin. But beautiful's out, ugly's in. If you're ugly like me, you're in good company. There are millions of us who are ugly. There are millions of us who are ugly.
Then we come to the dog walk song, which is, Dad didn't have a dog in New York, but he would walk outside a lot near Central Park, which is where we lived, and he would see the dog walking culture. So this is just his observations of a guy out on a stroll with his dog and just the frenetic pace of what that is like.
When I take my dog for a walk, he takes me for a run, dragging me along the street is his idea of fun. From lamppost to lamppost, we jerk along the street. From tree to fire hydrant, look out, lady, watch your feet, 'cause me and my dog have arrived, we're both out of control. So look out, anybody who's out to take a stroll. Get on.
When I take my dog for a walk, he takes me for a run. Dragging me along the street is his idea of fun. From lamppost to lamppost, we jog along the street. From tree to fire hydrant, look out, lady, watch your feet. Me and my dog have arrived, we're both out of control. So look out, anybody who's out to take a stroll. Me and my dog have a date, it is a rendezvous with a poodle who is French and her mistress on this afternoon. Then uptown we go for a meeting there with Klaus. He's a German shepherd, he's the watchdog of the house. Achtung, we better move right along, we've dozens more to meet. Where's the place to meet dogs? Why, out here on the street.
By Jove, look who's there. Jolly good is the man with the bowler hat, walking with his English bulldog. Let's stop for a chat. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? I'm very well, thank you very much. Goodbye, 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 toodaloo. Stop that, don't click that, baby. His mother will object. I know you didn't mean it, but please show some respect.
By Jove, look who's there. Jolly good is the man with the bowler hat, walking with his English bulldog. Let's stop for a chat. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, how are you?
Very well, thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, toodaloo. Stop that now, don't lick that baby. His mother will object. I know you didn't mean it, but please show some respect. Why, goodness gracious me, it is that Irish setter. Come on, dogs, no fighting now. Ah, that's much better. Look out for your leash. Oh, bother, it's all knotted. Now, here's a Dalmatian. My goodness, look at how he's spotted. Better keep your fingers crossed in case he brings bad luck. Cross the road with care now, don't get run down by a truck. Hey, leave that rag alone. Hey, leave that garbage can. Hey, stop that pulling now. I'm not a Superman. Home's only 5 lampposts away. Oh, drat, there's a cat. And what's worse, she's coming our way. Now we've seen her, that'll be that. Things are getting busy. Stop it, I feel dizzy. Heel, heel, heel. Oh, please, heel.
And this one, they didn't go with the ending. All of these songs are very short, but it was edited for time for the Muppet Show. But my dad ends the song with kind of a nice, slower resolve where, everything's okay.
Ah, there's a good dog. Now here's a bone for you. Sit. Sit. Lie down. Good dog. Roll over. Play dead. Dead. Ah, now I can read the paper.
And then we go to the song that is very touching and personal for me, the Wishing Song, which has a little backstory to it. My father was interviewed, and I want to read that for you. It's Interview with Songwriter Paul Tracey. And this is part of like this Muppet universe of fans out there. They have something called a Muppet Wiki. She says, "How's the family? I'm very excited because today I'm bringing you a rarely heard story of a song from The Muppet Show, specifically the Wishing Song, which Gonzo sings in the Season 2 episode with Madeline Kahn. Now, without getting into it, this song is very important to me. It helped me through some tough times. Recently, I was looking it up on YouTube, and I discovered a comment by a guy who claimed to have written it. So I explored, and sure enough, the guy's name was Paul Tracey. I looked on his site and got in contact with him, asking if we could interview him. Well, instead of that, we decided that Paul would just share his story outright. So without any further ado, take it away, Paul. And so here's what my dad wrote. How the wishing song came to the Muppet Show. It must have been around 1970 when my wife and I were cast as actors in a local New York TV show. It starred Phil Bruns, Sam Watterson, and others. We acted out folk stories, and every week there was a theme to the show, and all the stories related to that theme. The producer came to me one day and said, Paul, you know a lot of folk songs, don't you? This week's theme is wishing. Do you have any folk songs about wishing? Yes, I do, I replied. Here's one. It's an Irish song called The Shepherd's Lamb. I began to sing it. It's a very cute song with a great melody and a Gaelic chorus. I wish I had the shepherd's lamb, the shepherd's lamb, the shepherd's lamb. I wish I had the shepherd's lamb and Katie coming after. And then some Gaelic nonsense, and then, but the producer says, yeah, I don't like it. Write another one. Write another one? I questioned. You don't write folk songs. I know, he said. Write another one. I was astonished, but we went home that night and decided to try and write a new folk song about wishing. I had only written a couple of songs at that time. Barbara came up with the opening line, I wish I had a coat of silk, the color of the sky. I came up with the next two lines, I wish I had a lady, fair as any butterfly. I wish I had a house of stone that looked down on the sea. And Barbara finished off the verse with the most poignant line, but most of all, I wish that I was someone else but me. Now, I found this funny. I was talking to my father the other day, and now that I know that those lines were written by other people, it makes sense. Because if you're going to write a song about wishing, I'm like, oh, what do you wish for? If your first wish is, I wish I had a coat of silk, color of the sky, that sounds like it's from a woman. That sounds like it's like a shopping spree, a magical shopping spree. Like, I wish I had an article of clothing. A guy didn't write that, and a guy didn't write that. But then the next line is clearly not written from a woman, unless she's gay, which is, I wish I had a lady, fair as any butterfly. Yeah, a lady who, if given a wish, would wish for an article of clothing. But back to the story. I quickly created a melody to the words and put it to a simple guitar accompaniment. The rest of the song pretty much wrote itself. The next day I sang it to the producer and he loved it. We used it in the show, and he commissioned me to write others in the series. Later, in Johannesburg, in the recording studios of Gallo, Africa, I included the song in my first album called Something Else. On returning to New York, I gave copies of my album to various friends, and one of them also happened to be a friend of Jim Henson. Jim was riding in his car one day, and our friend gave him the album, saying, Here, Jim, you might like some of these songs. And he did. What an honor it was to have my song on The Muppet Show. Surprisingly, I never caught the show when it first ran. Years later, I finally saw how Gonzo had sung it so movingly to Madeline Kahn. And so in the second verse of the song, there's a perspective shift, and the character realizes that he doesn't have any of these things that he wishes for, but he finds a way to come to peace with that and become grateful for what he does have. And it's simple, and yet it taps into something that is very relatable, because it doesn't take much for people to map their own wishes and desires and struggles to be at peace and to be happy with who they are and what they have and what they don't have. That is an ongoing thing. And that's why this simple song, which has 8 lines, struck a chord with myself, Jim Henson, the person that wrote this article, and many others. So this is the original version I'll play you first, and then I'll play you the Muppets. This is the wishing song, sung and co-written by my father, Paul Tracey, and my mother, Barbara Quaney.
I wish I had a coat of silk, the color of the sky. I wish I had a lady, fair as any butterfly. I wish I had a house of stone that looked down on the sea. But most of all, I wish that I was someone else but me. I don't have a coat of silk, but still I have the sky. Now I don't have a lady, but there goes a butterfly. Now I don't have a house of stone, but I can see the sea. Now most of all I know that I am happy to be me. I'm happy to be
I wish I had a coat of silk, the color of the sky. I wish I had a lady fair as any butterfly. I wish I had a house of stone that looked down on the sea. But most of all, I wish that I was someone else but me.
Gonzo.
Oh, hi, Miss Khan.
Gonzo, I'm very sorry I made you sad. You know, I just really don't think it would work out if we got married.
Yeah, I suppose I am kind of short for you.
No! No, it's... Well, anyway, hey, I hope we can be the very best of friends.
Thank you.
And if there's anything I can ever do for you...
There is one thing.
What?
Let me finish my song.
Oh, of course. I'd love to hear it.
Now I don't have a coat of silk, but still I have the sky. Now I don't have a lady, but there goes a butterfly. Now I don't have a house of stone, but I can see the sea. Now most of all, I know that I am happy to be me. I'm happy to be me.
Can I borrow your...
Sure.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
What is this? What is
My magician's
And then randomly, they did another version where Rolf the dog sang it, and they changed or just butchered the second line, where it's supposed to be, I wish I had a lady fair as any butterfly, and he goes, I wish I had a lady fair and then a butterfly.
I wish I had a coat of silk, the color of the sky. I wish I had a lady fair and then a butterfly.
So, like, it's not a metaphor. He's literally looking for a female human and a butterfly. Maybe it makes sense because he's a dog and he chases butterflies. I have no idea what they were doing with that, but this is Rolf the dog butchering it.
Now, most of all, I know that I am happy to be me. Yeah, I'm happy to be me.
So I'm going to be putting out a video. I interviewed my father. I got the full story of his whole interaction and collaboration with Jim Henson and the Muppets. It's a wonderful chat. We had a good time talking about all sorts of things. He broke out the guitar. In the meantime, if you want to check out my father's work, I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel where I think every track from something else is on there, plus a lot of other stuff. And so if you want to go investigate and check it out for yourself, I suggest you do. Anyway, my dad rocks. And I just wanted to share that with everyone and anyone. I hope you guys have a great day.
The Muppet Movie. It's more entertainment than was ever humanly possible.